All right, guys, let's get started doing some modeling. Adding integers by drawing models. So we're going to model our integers with drawing the circles. Starting with drawing model of the problem -6 plus 2. So I'm going to use my colored pencils to do that so you can see what we're doing here. Find my yellow. All right, so we're going to model -6 plus 2. -6 means I'm going to have 6 negatives. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, and 2 positives. And remember, we're going to stack these so that we can see our 0 pairs. So I'm going to come right under here and do my positives. 1, 2. Now, once I've done that, I want to mark out my 0 pairs. Well, before I do that, let's just say that we don't have our colors. If you're working just with a pencil and no color, that modeling can still happen. Get my pencil here. We can still show those models by drawing 6 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 2 positives. 1, 2. Well, keep breaking. So you can do the model here or here. Either one. It doesn't matter. Now I'm going to mark out my 0 pairs. So here's 1 0 pair. Here's another 0 pair. And then circle what is left. And I'm left with -4. Same thing here. Mark out the 0 pairs. Circle what's left. And I have -4. Okay. Draw a model of the problem 5 plus -3. So now let's draw 5 plus -3. So that's 5 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then -3. 1, 2, 3. You can also draw it just with our signs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Let's put the word or right here. Or. Okay. Now, I'm going to come down here and mark out my 0 pairs. Circle what's left, and I'm left with a +2. Mark out my 0 pairs. Circle what's left, and I'm left with a +2. Okay. And the last one is -4 plus 4. So -4, something in red. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and draw those negatives. Plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw my mark out my 0 pairs. I'm left with nothing, so my answer is 0. All right, these are additive inverses of each other. Additive inverse. This particular problem, if I wanted to write that out, you're going to see this a lot, and it's going to say this is the sum of -4 and its additive inverse. Okay, here's our -4, the sum, and then this is -4's additive inverse. So this particular wording, I can promise you, you will see that. The sum of -4 and its additive inverse equals 0. The sum of -4 and its additive inverse equals 0. That is a very, 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 very important way of, this is extremely important right here. Okay. All right, real quick before we move on to the back, let's sum this up. Let's sum this up by going back and talking about what we did and put our steps into a flow map so that we have this. I want you to put this in your OMG somewhere that you can refer to it as needed. So the first step, I'm going to get my paper right here so we can look at it. The first thing we did was we modeled the first term. So we did draw a model for the first term. The second thing we did was draw a model of the second term. And we want to stack under we want to stack that second term's model under the first term's model, okay? Then we identify and eliminate I spelled that wrong. M-I-N-A-T-E. Eliminate the 0 pairs. And then we're going to determine the solution. Okay, and we want to give this a title. This is modeling addition with counters. Okay, modeling addition with counters. So there's your flow map for doing that. Okay, so get that copied, pause this, get that copied into your OMG so that you have it as a reference. Now on the back here, adding integers with models, and it's having you do these 6 problems with a model. So I'm going to come right here on my paper, on my notebook paper, and I want you to do these models in your, we'll just do them out here on the side. I'll just do them out here to the side. So I'll use my pens with these. -3 plus 5. So So we have -3 plus 5 So I modeled my first term, model my second term. Now I'm going to identify and eliminate my 0 pairs. Circle my answer. Circle what's left, and what I have left is a +2. Okay. Now we have 1 plus a -2. Get rid of my 0 pairs. Circle what's left, and I'm left with a -1. Now, I want you to pause this video right here and finish these. And when you're done with these, turn the video back on and check your work. Keep in mind that you can, if you choose, model this. This would be -3 plus 5. Mark out those 0 pairs, and I'm still left with 2. I could do -1 plus 2. Mark out the 0 pair, and I'm left with positive. I'm sorry, I did that backwards. Let me do that again. That's a +1 plus -2. Mark those out, and there's my 0 pair. There's my 0 pair, and there's my solution. So, pause the video, finish these, and then turn it back on to check it. Okay? Now, you have done these, and you're ready to check. So, here are your solutions. Okay, so you're checking your work. I did both models. I did the color counter model, and I did just the drawing the pluses and minuses model for each one. Notice on these 3, on number 5, number 2, and number 4, there are no 0 pairs. So there was nothing to eliminate on those. So be sure you're watching for that. So that's modeling addition with counters. Now let's look at modeling addition with a number line. To find the value of -2 plus 5, place a circle on the place on that number line for the first number of the problem. In this case, it's -2. Now, here's what I want you to do. We are going to model with the number line, but we are not going to do it like this. So I want you just to draw a big X over that right there, because we are going to model on a number line using 2 lines and not 1. This one is a model of only 1 line, and we are not going to do ours that way. We're going to show both terms on our number line because that's the way our state standards require. So we have this one done. I need you to take this paper, give it to Mr. Turner, and when you do that, he is going to give you this paper. So pause your video and go show this to Mr. Turner, and when you have this ready to show him, pick up this one. And now that you have number line adding integers, you will go to the next video and we will do this.